Hi, beautiful people. I cannot believe that I can finally say welcome to It's More podcast. My name is Naranga Shamtara. I am a fashion design and image consultant from Uganda. I am super excited. I have so much to talk about today. I have been doing this for about 8 years now. So yeah, I have a couple of stories to tell. And but before we get into what it is now, I am going to try to rewind it back on how I even got into the industry, just for you, to get familiar with each other. So it's just important that this first episode, I, talk about my story, my journey, how it has been in the industry, the good, the bad, the lessons, which is really quite important. If I had anything to change, I don't think I would say, no, everything, happened and it got me exactly where I am. At a larger extent, that's true, because to be honest, the things we go through, especially the hard times, teach us character, obedience, how to deal with situations. At a larger extent, yes, I'm so grateful for all the things that I went through. But there are also things that I knew I had no business doing. It's like a little child running out of the mother's hand and then boom, you hit your head. Yeah, I have those moments, lots of them. So if I'm asked if there are things I would change in my past, I would scream a big yes, because yes, there are bridges that I burnt. And I know there's a saying, you cannot burn your bridges because you never know. But there's some I had to, because I did not even have business to be on them in the first place. And I know so many of us have those, moments and those stories that you're like, you know what? But before I even get in all of those stories, my journey in the business started way back. Before I was known as Shamtara, I was introduced to the business world by my mother. She was a seamstress. By the way, I have a very weird confessions. There's a time way back. I think I was still in high school. I don't think high school. I was actually grown, and I was having a conversation with someone who had asked me, so how did you start? So I'm trying to, instead of saying my mom was a seamstress, I said my mom was a mistress. So I remember this person saying, your mom was what? I'm like, yes, a mistress. He's like, oh, you mean a seamstress? I'm like, oh yeah. That. So, but now I have it right. So my mom was a seamstress. Seamstress? Woo! She was a seamstress. She's the one who introduced me to the whole love for fashion and clothes. So my mom was dealing in secondhand clothes, and she would go down to a winter market and get the clothes and then take them to girls' hostel. That was her income, and that's how I got introduced to that. So I think I started doing that when I was like in primary 5. I remember very well. There was a trip that I badly wanted to go to. And, my mom was like, yeah, there's no money. And I'm like, that's okay. But the day before, the hype, when there's going to be a trip the next day, the hype was real. I'm like, there's no way I'm going to miss this trip. I remember I ran back. I'm like, Mom, I know you can't do this. I believe in you. I need to go to this trip. And I remember her pointing to the corner. So that corner had most of the leftover clothes that would remain every time she goes. Those ones, I remember her pointing at the corner. It had like a whole heap. I was like, you want to go to the trip? There you go. I'm like, I didn't care. I'm like, I know, because I grew up around Makerere. That's where I grew up. That's where I was born. That's where I grew up. So you know how Makerere is. There's so many hostels around. I'm like, I know a couple of them. So I got this. And I knew she used to go to only girls hostels. And there were so many, only girls hostels. So I remember held my chivera at the back. I'm like, I have to. And she did not limit me. She did not tell me, oh, you're supposed to sell them this price. So I made the prices. As long as I remember, the trip was 10,000. So the thing is, as long as you get your 10,000, or was it unze chikumi or what? So I carried my chivera, went to the nearby girls' hostels, and that day I think they had a feast. They had never seen it. I was selling them 500. Whoever had to give me 300, that goal was 10,000. And I was successful, but I remember I got 9,500. So I ran back, and of course, She gave me the 500 and she was excited. She was like, well, you actually did it. I'm like, yeah. I remember in the morning, I had my money. I even phoned the bus. I phoned the bus loping, and I remember I caught my car 10K and I'm swinging it. I'm like, hey, I have the money here. So that started my journey into, selling these clothes. So after my mom saying that I did it, she realized I'm a great resource. I'm not going to just eat her food. I should make some money as well in the house. And, sometimes it was interesting, sometimes it wasn't. I just wanted to be a normal child. But looking back, honestly, I thank God for that because I have so much wisdom that, cannot be taught in school. So that's how my journey started. She would go get the clothes and over the weekends when there's no school. Sometimes even after school, depending on the need. And I remember in Form 1, in Form 1, my mom had some health issue and now I had to take over the business. It had become a family business. Yes, we had a family business. So I had to take over. Now, taking over that was even me getting these clothes from Owino Market. And I had to find a way of juggling school and getting the clothes because I could not only do weekends because what happens? You're going to do weekends and then how about the rest of the weeks? How are you going to feed? So I'd miss a lot of school, but I knew how to play it. I was a cool kid. I even remember I had a friend. I won't mention her name so that the parents don't know what used to happen. Would just be like, I don't think tomorrow we should come into school tomorrow. Situate, I don't feel it. And then she'd be like, yeah, I don't think we should. Me at the back of my mind, I know I have to go to Window Market and bring clothes. It wasn't a chill thing and a cool thing, but I kept that to myself because you know how kids can be. I didn't want to feel any type of way or them coming at me in any type of way. I didn't want to expose that. It felt like a weakness, honestly, at that time because you are going to school with kids that, just going home to watch TV, that when there's any need, they're just calling their parents. So it didn't really feel like something I should say. So yes, we had those days. I had those days where I would miss school, go to Owino Market, pick those clothes. And also, here's the thing. I don't know why people know, but Owino clothes are expensive, especially the nice ones, the ones that are still in shape. They are not cheap. And campus students, the command is not as heavy. So what my mom told me what she would do, she would usually pick in the ones that are cheap. Normally they would be like 500, 700. Now, normally those ones are so huge. They are like rugs. So she would get them as long as it has potential, resize it, have it redone and sold. So now you understand why I had to get a day to get them, then another day to sell them because now I had to take them home, my mom to resize them, and then I get another day where I would, go and sell them. So that was my journey. And it wasn't an easy one. I don't know how it is now because it's been a while. I don't know whether it's still a business that is booming. It was a business that's booming because I remember I had times where you would be in a hostel and you're about 10 different women, even men, that are selling clothes. So I don't know whether it's a booming business, but it was then. And sometimes it wasn't easy because not all hostels allowed people in for good reasons, for security reasons, because they had some people that would be robbing the students. And also, if hostels, they usually have offices that are literally facing the entrance. So there's no way sometimes I would escape that. So I would leave my bag outside, go inside. I'd made some, friends, ask someone to come, and pick the bag for me. So for them, there would not be questions. They know they stay here. She was like, maybe she's bringing her bag and all. And that's how I would get myself in. Other times where, if you get caught, they are confiscated. Now you have to sit the whole day. If you hadn't made any money, that's a whole day gone. And also being a young child, a young girl, you had also those days where, those askaris would want to take advantage of you to enter. So you had to now leave and make sure you have to abandon that hostel, look for another one. I had graduated because I was no longer working around Makerere because I realized there's so many people So I had to run to Chambogo University, and we still used to stay in Makere. So the distance, I feel like I was always that girl with kafufu. Like sometimes I would even be scared of entering people's rooms. Like I would just crawl in there and pola because of the dust, and the dust because of the long distances. So, but again, like I said, that was a journey that had a lot, to learn from. I learned fashion. I fell in love with clothes. I fell in love with looking good. And mostly I fell in love with, dressing other people and seeing other people look nice. And what led to me starting my own brand? It was just one of those days. By that, I was way done with high school, grown. And I remember seeing some two lovely ladies that were almost the age of my mom. I remember looking at them and I'm like, I don't think I want to be this age and I'm still doing the same thing. And already remember for us who are changing the designs. So I'm like, you know what? I want to work with my own design. I don't think I want to keep doing this till this age. And that thought actually sparked the beginning of my journey as a fashion designer. They tell you that be very, very alert with your thoughts and what you think about, because everything starts as a thought and there's always so much you can build from a thought. So some is positive, some is negative, depending on what spirit you choose to use yourself to. So it's really, really important, if there's any thought that is negative, to kill it immediately, because everything starts as an idea and everything starts as an idea in the head. And that's how we started. And I remember from that day, I was like, I'm going to be introducing myself as a fashion designer. It wasn't still popular, but it was better than I sell clothes. It was better. Again, something to learn is pick who you want to be. Okay, so if you're there and your dream is to be a lawyer, yeah, even if you're not, it's okay to tell people, yes, I'm a lawyer, because it worked for me, and it really, really works. The Bible says, life and death is in the tongue. So, speak what you want to see, and it will indeed happen. So here I am. Not to brag, but I am one of the best designers in Uganda, and it all started by a thought and speaking it. But before I fully entered the industry, I was still doing the second-hand clothes and also talking about to see if anybody cares for me to make them an original outfit, because I didn't really know anybody. I did not have connections. I did not know any fashion designer. So I was starting from scratch. So if you're out there and you're wondering how, and you don't know where to start from, you're like, oh my God, I don't have connections. I don't have this. I don't have that. All you need is an idea. Speak it, trust God, and He will always, always bring people in your corner. So in 2016, I'm like, okay, I need to do this for real, for real. So 2017, I think I entered into it. I'm like, okay, now I will not even be dealing with secondhand clothes at all. I'm just going to be doing this. And like I said, I'm entering this without connections. All the people I've met, all the people I know now in the industry, I met them by just putting myself out there, by just saying, hey, can I make you something? Hey, would you want me to make you something? Like, doesn't matter what you give me, or even just to. So this is if you want to start something, again, when you're like me, no connection, nothing, talk about it and ask people if they will need. There will always be someone who will say yes. And from that someone, when you do an excellent job, it will be they're going to bring another person. They will put your name in another person's ear. That's how it will go. So 2017, I am just talking about it, but no money to even buy a machine. And I remember I met a very gorgeous lady at church that gave me money for my first machine. I remember it was 500K. And there my journey started. I did not have any skill on tailoring. We had a machine home because my mom was a seamstress, but my sister knew how to use a machine and I didn't. In fact, I remember if I had anything that I wanted to had to help me adjust. I had to bribe her. In fact, when I started doing this, my mom was like, your sister? Yes, but you? I'm shocked. Because it would have been way easy for my sister to do that because she was good at it and not me. So again, I didn't know how to use a machine. And there it was. I didn't know how to cut what people call komola, like to cut like the shape of it. I didn't know that. I had no fashion knowledge whatsoever, but I had passion for it. You know, like I said, I started doing it when I'm 5. This is the only thing I knew how to do well. I was enjoying it. So there I was with scissors, tape measure, and a machine. And I'm like, God, I have to do this. And yes, we started, we spoiled, we perfected, we spoiled, we perfected. Some days were easy, some days were so hard. I had to spend weeks and weeks on just one outfit. Imagine just client waiting for outfit for weeks and weeks. So, but yes, God had blessed me with patient people then. So I am very, even now, but it's because now I have more skill. It can't take me weeks and weeks and weeks to do just a simple thing. But that's how it started. And, you know, I grew, you know, started getting more people. When you make an outfit for one person, they recommend another person. And like I said, some days were really good. Some days were not. Some days the same money they paid you is what you're wasting in doing corrections, and corrections, you're not getting anything. But I was like, this is the only thing I know how to do well. And I loved it. So I had patience because I loved it. And I believed in myself. I believed, like, you know what? I can do it. Whether it's slow, today is bad, I can do it. So it's really, really important to whatever you're starting to believe in yourself that you can do it. Because trust me, the world is ruthless. And I don't think it's just in the fashion business. I think it's in every business and every sector. Whatever you're trying to do, you just have to make sure, you know, you believe in yourself, trust God, who started a work in you to complete it, like I did. And who we are. But today, one of the things that I really want to put, you know, an emphasis on is the lessons. Like I said, it has been a journey. 8 years coming to 9 years. For somebody who just entered the industry just like that, there has been lessons. I did some damages. God is so good. You know that scripture that says all things work together for good for those that love the Lord and called according to his purpose. Yeah, there are so many things that he worked for my good, but I'd messed up bad. And I'm going to start off with something that I made a huge mistake on. One of the things, especially when it comes to the creative industry, is we actually think competition is the way to go. I keep saying that competition kills collaboration. People think it grows talent. People think it, you know, gives you recognition. I completely disagree. If you're going to start a business, if you're going to, especially in the creative business, stop looking at your competition. Do research on the market you're entering. What woman do you want to dress up? Where does she hang out? What is her, you know, what's her lifestyle? What are her patterns? And when you find out all these things, now you can find out, in that you realize, okay, now this lady that I want to dress is dressed by such designers. Honor those designers. Learn from them. It takes nothing from you to go, if you have a chance to be with them in the same room, to walk up to them and say, hi, mom, I am so and so. I'm just started in this industry and I love your work. Ask a few questions. How did you start? You get, it will save you a lot, because first and foremost, everyone is not where they are by mistake. They've done some things right. They've also done some things wrong that have, you know, helped them. Those mistakes that help you grow. You will learn so much. Where needed, collaborate. We grow by honoring people that have gone before us. That's how we grow, not fighting them. It doesn't matter how talented you are. You cannot, this is a principle. This is how God made these things. We honor people who are before us. These things of fighting each other, fight because you think you're talented, because you are new, fresh blood, you know more. No, you can never know more than somebody who did something before you. Yes, you might know new things, but old things are needed because they're foundation. There's a foundation. You're not going to just build a building without a foundation. So wisdom is really needed. Honor these people, sit down with them, give them their flowers, learn what you have to learn, and remember, you reap what you sow. If you want to enter the industry attacking and tearing people down, the same thing will be done to you. So that was one of the first thing that I learned that I wish I knew earlier. The second thing is you cannot appeal to everyone. I remember when I just started, I wanted to do everything. You guys, I did everything. I did Bitenj. I almost did Agomasi. That was the only thing. That's how I really wanted to make it. And later on, I realized the more I did that, is the more I made mistakes. Is the more I was losing clients. Because again, you're doing everything, you're missing others. You get. So I'm there losing clients. I'm on tension. This person, you've ruined their clothes. And then you have others that are looking at you. You have 1,000 BTNGs that are looking at you. You don't even know who's anymore. And they call it like you start wondering, yale cha blue, cha green. Then the other side, you have silk fabric on the wall. Like I was all over the place. But when I had to sit back, narrowed it down, and realized I cannot appeal to everyone. Another thing, wanting to dress everyone kills your authenticity, because everyone has their strength. You get, everyone has their strength. So stop fighting to reach everyone. Stop fighting to satisfy everyone. You're not MTN. It will not work. So deal with what you can, where your strength is, so that your authenticity can grow. You get, so that you can grow authenticity, so that it comes out effortlessly, so that it comes out clean. And the more you do that, people will recognize you and will be able to define you and be like, if you need something like this, Shamtara is a person. But before we got there, I did all sort of volongotos. I'm sure there are clients that started with me that are like, that girl, what she did not do to me. But I know now when they see what I do, they understand, okay, there was a journey of growing. So like I said, you cannot appeal to everyone. Also another point, sorry, I wrote them down here so that I don't, forget anything. Boundaries is my next point. Guys, not all clients are your friend. Just because she keeps coming back and coming back, or sometimes she sits and waits for address, doesn't mean you're friends. That familiarity there kinda ruins things. This is a point I don't think I'm going to go way deeper in, because I feel like you understand. Not all clients are going to be close friends, are going to be tight friends, like, oh my God. Some of them are just going to be clients. Some of them are these people, like, when you meet, you have a very good conversation with them, but they are not your friends' friends. Don't push, because this one, I think when I push harder on them, they have more people, we get more, publicity and all of that. No, learn your boundaries, know when to stop, know what conversations to have with clients. Not every conversation you're supposed to have with a client. Don't get too comfortable. When you get too comfortable, you're going to rub, this client that you're thinking is a friend in a wrong way, and she's not going to come back. And she's going to tell that to other people, and it won't be gossip. It's going to be her experience with you. And if there are other people that, don't like that, they're like, I really can't go there. So learn boundaries, know how to handle your clients, know how far to go with them. Some are really extremely nice. It's not inviting you to be friends. They're just nice. Okay. Some you'll be friends, honestly, because I know people, even I personally, I know people that have come really, really close friends of mine, and they started as clients, but not everybody. So you just have to know that your boundaries. It's really, really important to know your boundaries. Another thing that I learned is protect other creatives. You're going to have clients that are going to come to you and have a lot to say about the other person. Tosa yo chicho. Direct translation, do not put yours. Do not put a word. Learn to protect other creatives, because in most cases, these things that these client things happened because of that person did, because of the service that person provided, happens to the most of us. Clothes tear. Sometimes it's a client who didn't hold themselves well, especially if you're dealing with couture. Couture is very delicate. It's very, very delicate. Some is done with hands. So it's delicate. You're supposed to handle yourself a certain way. So a client just goes, is excited, and then pew, maybe dances and does 180. How are you going to do 180 in a couture and you don't think it's going to tear? Or how are you going to do the biggest strides and you think that dress it? Sometimes it's how a client has handles themselves in particular clothes. So they're going to come to you, tell you how bad the other designer is or the other creative is. You start putting your words as well, and it happens to you. The cycle continues. So I learned this, learn to protect them. It's like it happens to most of us. It doesn't mean they are bad at what they do. It can happen to me as well, depending on how you handle the clothes. So learn to protect other creatives. Like I said in my first point, putting other people down. Competition does not grow you at will. Those clients that you think they're friends, they're actually not your friends. They're still going to go back and tell the person the same things. So make sure you learn to protect other creatives. Another point is it doesn't get easier. You get wiser. You guys, when I just started, one thing I was working on is they just need to know me. The problem that people don't know me. I have good services. I'm creative. They just don't know me. And instead of investing in my skill, I was investing in people knowing me. My way. Those people that you're seeing doing things effortlessly, it might seem that it's effortless, but it does not get any easier. You just become wiser. You just learn how to deal with things more calmly, more faster. So don't be out there and thinking like, oh, when people know me, it's going to get easier. You're just going to be disappointed for no reason. So let me prepare you mentally that it does not get easier. You just get wiser. So instead of putting your energy, so much of your energy in people knowing you, it's good to put yourself out there, but also putting the same energy in investing in your skills, so that when the curtains finally raise, your work is excellent. You're giving them perfect work. Now there, easy move. Okay, like I said, it's not like easy, but you know what I mean. You perfected your skills. Now people are seeing it. The clients come. They eventually, by the way, still come, but make sure they do not come before you are prepared. So prepare yourself. The doors will open. The doors always open when preparations happen. Opportunities always happen. Another point is don't get too comfortable. Oh, I've done this for this much time. I know this. I can do it with even closing my eyes. It could be true, but don't get comfortable. Every day, there's a new person coming. And of course, there's room for all of us. There is room for all of us. But what happens when a new person comes up with new ideas? You might be washed off. So keep learning new things. I learned this from some amazing man of God who once said, like, people do not upload for the same thing twice. So yes, it was incredible. Everybody loved it. You got praises and whatnot. But if you do the same thing tomorrow, the hands keep reducing. The hands keep reducing. So people do not upload the same thing twice. Keep learning new things. Like I said earlier, invest in your skill. Get on that YouTube. Just keep thinking of new things. Another thing, this would have been the first point. I keep telling people, as creatives, I feel like we are in the devil's field, because you know how the Bible describes him. He was an artist. He was the best singer. So we are in his ground, in his playfield. He's a creative. And we use our minds. And you know, he attacks minds a lot. We have so many creatives that are using drugs. We have so many creatives that have died young over nonsense. We have so many creatives that are stuck in stagnant situations. You have to know God. You have to pray. Pray for your mind. Pray for yourself. Pray for your business, for your brand. Pray for your clients. Pray for the people around you, the people you associate with. Everything needs. Pray for your machines. You guys, pray for everything, because if you don't, you're in for a ride. I'm not scaring you, but I'm just saying, let your foundation be God and prayer. You guys, God can even give you inspirations. There are so many ideas, so many things I do, and trust me, it was not just my naked mind or my imaginations, that I know truly this was God. So it will make things so smooth for you. It will make you wiser. Another thing is, character outweighs talent. It doesn't matter how talented you are. Work on yourself. Know how to talk to clients. Know how to talk to people. Accept where you're wrong. Even where you're not wrong, you accept it, because I know you know so many talented people that are not getting as much clients, or are not even in the business anymore, because they did not work on their characters. Discipline, have self-discipline, have self-control, stay away from certain things. You don't need alcohol, you don't need drugs. You get, because most of those things also take you off course. You know, work on yourself, know how to respond, know how to react when your work is criticized. Now, if you're not working on your character, you might start telling this person, Munange, your money is not even what feeds me, and all those things. When this person takes back what you said, they're not going to say what they said. They're not going to say their side. If they say their side, they're going to be the angels, and you're going to be the devil. And we're in a generation where people don't want to know what has been said. Apana. That one is a no-go area. And we know that there will always be people that are committed to misunderstanding you. So work on your character, because it doesn't matter how talented you are. Bad characters, you guys, kill. It will kill your business. It will kill you. You kill your career, because there's so many people who have ended up also taking themselves out because their source of income is not providing anymore, and they don't have anywhere to turn to. So I cannot stress that enough as well. Lastly, I have so many, but I feel like let me stop there. Again, like I said, it's a long ride. I'll keep coming in with some of those things here and there. Learn to take a break. We use our minds. Okay, we use our minds. We use our hands. Learn to take a break. When something happens to you, that client will get somewhere else to go. Learn to say, you know what? Let me take time to myself. Let me talk to my God. Let me go back to the vision of why I even started this. Because along the way, so many noises, so many things happen. It's so easy for you to even lose sight of why you even started. Gifts are given to support our assignments. I feel like that's also going to be a story of another day, because especially in creatives, we actually think our gift is our assignment or our purpose. And there's a lot of danger connecting purpose to just gifting. Learn to take breaks. Go look at, the things you wrote when you're just beginning. Connect to them. See how far you've come. See how far you have to go. Thank God for it. Be around good friends. Laugh a bit. Don't every time you have to be worried, thinking about clothes, thinking about someone's dress, thinking about someone's pants, some suits. Women start getting nightmares. You guys, it's not easy. So learn to take a break. It's good for yourself to take a break. I don't know. I am sure most of the things I've talked about have been really, really something, because even me re-saying them has actually charged me up, because I'm like, oh my God, make sure we don't do this. We're not supposed to do this. We're not supposed to do this. So make sure, if you've enjoyed this video, make sure you share it with somebody, and it's cannot wait to see you on another episode. Thank you so much for listening to me this far. It has been fun. Take care of yourself. God loves you. Till next time. Thank you so much. Bye.